Donna, if you're there, go ahead and start us up. Okay, good morning. We're out here at the lake. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We're making a Saturday morning practice here at White Rock Lake. It is a beautiful day. It feels like spring. Take your hands together. Let's inhale. We are yoking our breathing and our attention together in the body. Exhale. Inhale over your ground. Lock your fists, hold it. And through the mouth, exhale. Beautiful. Turn your palms out. Inhale wide. Scrape your fingertips through that range. Yes. Straighten your elbows. Lock your elbows. My palms go together. My feet ground. I put 40% of my weight in my heels. I put 40 into my mid-foot balls of the feet, and then 20% into the toes. I fill my lungs from the bottom of the lungs up to the top, stretching earth to sky. Yes. My shoulder blades gather back behind me, and I place my fingertips on the shoulders. I lift my elbows up and arc. Yes. Man, there's not a cloud, and the sun is coming down. The air is cool, but the sun is warm. Reach those hands high. Wide fingers and thumbs. Isolate the fingers. Release them. Release the wrists. Isolate your intention. Elbows. Empty and release the elbows. Elbows and shoulders. Empty and release. Big breath. As I exhale, my knees bend. I isolate those knees. And now hips, and I tilt down the spine. I empty the spine forward. Variation of our Uttanasana. Every posture, many variations. Remember that the practice is not for the book. It's not for what is supposed to be. The practices are for you. The postures are forms for you to use as vessels of your breath. I'd like for you to identify your spine. Release this neck completely. Lift the head and neck away. Drop that head and neck down. 2 more times. Real simple. I inhale my head away and I exhale down through the spine. What if right here, my fingers make a cup on the ground? What if I bend both knees, then straighten one, bend both and straighten the other one? So I'm bending and alternating legs straight. If my legs, maybe I can take both knees bent, both legs straight. Good morning. Yes. So I'm bending these knees. I'm going to put my right hand on my right hip. I straighten that right leg and I revolve. Totally revolve, and I reach up into the sky. And breathe 3 nice breaths. Can you isolate your fingers and release them? Wrists, elbow, shoulder down. I bend both, put my left hand on my left hip. I straighten my left hip. I lengthen my spine and I revolve. I'm going to reach up into the sky. I release my fingers, my wrist, my elbow, my shoulder down. And I fold. I gather the strength from the top of each foot through the ankle, through the shins, the kneecaps. I gather up through my hip. And in that hip, I find the strength to tilt forward. I create a hollow in that lower gut, and I can fold more deeply. 3 smooth breaths. And then let's rebuild. stack your hands on your knees. If my hands are on my knees, I'm going to make circles in those knees. Right? And circle the other direction. Bend and straighten, right? Push away. Let's take the hands on the hips, make big circles in the hips. Wake up your body. Reverse direction in your hips. Right? If I'm there, plant these feet down. I am grounding, aligning my ankles, my hips, my shoulders, and my ears in this coronal plane. And I'm going to take my hips over to one side. I do not roll my shoulders or tilt my hips. I am leaning into one side. I'm drawing my hips over. And I'm lifting one ear up into the sky. And I'm breathing that dilation. Wake up the free arm. Turn the palm up and reach up into the sky. Yes, and let it breathe. Open both hands opposite. Look down at the low thumb and breathe for 3, 2, 1. I'm turning my eyes. I'm looking up at my thumb for 3 and 2 and 1. I reach the straight elbow long over my ear. I'm reaching out. I'm lifting in my heart. I'm taking 2 hands away. Crescent moon pose. And let's breathe it right there for 3 and 2. The exit is to bend your knees, revolve your shoulders, reach way out and sweep it down. Oh, yes. Release the spine and the neck. Stack your hands, rebuild up. Let's take 2 hands into those glutes. I'm bending my knees. I push my hips forward. I lift up in my spine through the heart. And I am arcing back. My glutes, yes, they're squeezing together. They're pushing down through my heels. I'm awakening the front of my body to support the lift. That's what I want. Yeah. And then I drop my face and lift it away. Drop the chin down to the chest. Inhale it away. One more time. Drop it to the chest. Reach the hands out over the ground. My fingertips pull me forward. Yes. Oh, that's it. I realign ankles, hips, shoulders, and ears. Let's do second side. So we're working slowly with breath and attention. We're not flinging ourselves through space and through some kind of calisthenic series. We are using posture. We are yoking breath and attention. Place these feet, grip these feet, hips go over, lift your ear up, reach the fingertips away and turn your palms out. And breathe it right there. 3, 2, 1. Sweep the free hand into the sky. Turn your eyes. Let's look down at the thumb. And now let's turn and look up at your thumb. And over your ear, way out. Breathe that. Feel that big dilation. Feel the big compression. Opposite. 2 hands. Reach away. My exit is to bend the knees. I revolve the shoulders. I reach way out and I sweep it down. Beautiful. Stack these hands on these knees. Push away. I'm squeezing my shoulders up to the ears and then release. Let's make circles in those shoulders. Right. And then let's reverse it. Nice. Separate the feet. Let's twist. Twist and twist. Now, you may have noticed that, or maybe not, but if you've been here for a while, you've noticed that we've been working 3 planes of movement. Earth and sky, east and west, north and south. We've been working 3 planes of movement in the spine. We have our sagittal plane that we bend forward and back. We have our coronal plane that we bend side to side. And now this is our transverse plane. Let yourself twist. Let yourself twist. Look deeply over your shoulder. Dear Kumar, we used to do these 15 minutes at a time. When we would practice, he would rarely look at the clock, but rather we would take the hands off of the clock and we would just work. Let's do 9 more each side, and then we're going to do some batak. 8, 8, 7, 7, 6, 6, 5, 5, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, and release. Relax your jaw. Do you remember batak? There are many variations of batak. We're going to make a 4 count. I inhale my arms back, and then I exhale, bending my knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, bend. 1, 3, 4, bend. 1, 2, 3, 4, bend. 1, 2, 3, 4, bend. So we bend the knees in between, the hands going back and the hands sweeping forward. Can you touch your fingers to the ground? Tickle those fingers over the mat or floor or concrete. Let's do 9 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's beautiful. Separate those feet, angle the heels toward the center. Let's squat. Now, if this is not possible for you, place a block underneath your heels. Place a towel underneath your heels, a folded towel or a book, something, so that you feel supported. But if you can, drop those heels down. And if you want more, you take your hands together, place your elbows on the inside of the knee, not below the knee if you can, but inside that medial hollow of the knee. And I'm going to straighten, align my elbows, drop my tailbone, and lift up in my heart. Oh yeah, that feels good. And I'm going to rock side to side. Side to side. And then I'm going to make circles in my tailbone. And reverse direction. Right. Okay, so I'm in this. I could stay here. If you want more, this is what we do. We can take 2 hands over to the knee and push. Push those elbows straight and lock them. I'm dropping my right shoulder down inside the knee. I press and lock and I breathe it for 3 and 2 and 1. If I can straighten these elbows, my right shoulder low, I'm taking my right hand onto my heart. I push away. I revolve and twist. I sweep my left hand into the sky. I'm looking at my left thumb. Oh, it feels so great. Breathe here for 3, 2. Isolate the fingers, the wrist, the elbow, the shoulder. Second side. Push away. Push. push, push it, push away, push. If I can push my elbows straight and lock, I drop my left shoulder down, my left hand goes on my heart. I revolve. I sweep and I breathe. I isolate my fingers, I release my wrist, my elbow, my shoulder. That's so beautiful. Look how easy now. Let's push the ground away. Be tall. Awesome. Make a light turn. Make a light turn. Yeah. Okay, so what if we make one of our teacup moves, okay? So find a point. I'm going to get my timer here. I'm going to set a timer for 90 seconds. 90 seconds, it's not much. But it is significant. All right. Separate your feet, angle your heels in. And we're going to bend. I'm setting it for 90. Good. We want level femur bones. We want that tailbone down. We want to lift in the heart. Find a point out in front of you and gaze at that point. And we breathe and we hold. Activate the ground through those soles of the feet, into the ankles, through the knees. Identify how we are connected from the earth up into the strength of that center. Find your length in the spine. Find your breathing. Smoothly, smooth as possible. And gaze at a point. Keep your eyes fixed. Oh, look at that. 90 seconds. Push away. Boy, that went very fast. Right? Let's do this one. Let's separate our feet. Padottanasana variation. So is this as wide as you can go? No. But is it kind of wide? Yes, it is. I want you to push those feet down. I want you to grip that tailbone down, pubic bone down in the front, everything drawing down. We have this aligned coronal plane of ankles, hips, shoulders, and ears. Feel that. Push down with those legs. Get like you could moonwalk your legs together to the center, right? Breathe that right there for 3, 2, 1. Wake up this right leg. Push the heel down. Let's pivot on that heel. And I'd like for you to notice your hips will now angle. What if we can press this leg long and straight? What if we can regain the hips to the center, regather these hips to the center, hold these hips, pull them into the center, grip with those gluteus muscles in the back, squeeze. Yes, such a simple move. Wide. Look, this back foot, my ground foot, my anchor leg is strong, straight. My toes are pointing directly toward the camera. This opposite leg is completely externally rotated at 90 degrees. My heels would align behind me. So simple. Breath, push down in this right heel. Revolve. Yes, on that heel. Pivot on that right heel. Pivot now on the left heel. Revolve the hip. Revolve this left leg. Observe the hip and regather it back to the center. Now those hips, we want level with the ground, and we want level in this coronal plane. We want the tailbone drawing down in the back, the pubic bone in the front. We want to lift in the spine. Press the legs in your coronal plane. Right. Press down. 3, 2, 1. Push down in this left heel. Let's pivot on that heel again. Let's bring it back. Pivot on this right leg. Open. Beautiful. So I am now gathered with these legs. They call Padottanasana. Let's add. Let's take these arms out, level with the ground. Now, typically, the arm we don't pay attention to drops down, and it's forgotten. Do not forget. Yes, remember this back arm. Let's look back at that back arm. Beautiful. Turn this front hand, I call it front, but the arm aligned over your right leg. I'm going to pivot here like this. I'm going to reach up in the sky. I'm reaching over my head. My knees are straight and locked. I take it back down. Let's enter our warrior number 2. So I'm in a position where I'm dropping my hips. I am not leaning with my torso. I am wanting my tailbone down, a vertical spine. Let's breathe that. Let's look over this front hand for 3 breaths. Remember that back arm, it's true. Now turn that front hand, look at that front thumb, turn that palm up. Let's reach it up into the sky. Reach it up high, way over the top. And let's take it back down. What if I bend this front elbow, place the forearm on my leg, sweep up in my left arm, way up. My hips aligned between my ankles. Let's look up at the thumb. Reach the long, straight arm over your ear. I am looking for a line from this back foot through my hips and spine, through my shoulder and fingertips. I take a big breath. I take 2 hands away, and I breathe it right there for 3 and 2. I revolve my shoulders. Here comes a warrior number 1. I'm going to lift up in my heart. Yes, nice, Michelle. I fold my torso down to the ground. I revolve up on my back heel. I take a big breath in. As I exhale, I step forward. Fold it down, down, down. Fold it down. Beautiful. Stack your hands on your knees. Utkatasana. Draw back with the hands. Sweep forward with the hands. Reach up. Bend those ankles. Bend those knees. Bring it back to your heart and stand up. Nice. Let's open these feet wide. Second side. I revolve on my left heel. I square my hips. I'm gripping root lock, mid lock. Ooh, yeah. I take a breath. These arms come up. Let's look back. Ooh, if I'm looking back, turn that front hand palm up, and I'm going to reach that into the sky. And I'm going to make this easy move. And I take it back. And I look at my front hand again. I say front, it's my left hand. I'm going to bend my knee. Let's enter this warrior number 2. And I'd like for us to reach up with that left hand. Reach back down the leg with the right hand. Breathe it right there. Bend your front knee. Reach over the top for 3 and 2 and 1. Bring it back, level. Beautiful. Let's bend this front arm. Revolve. Place the forearm down on your leg. Reach into the sky. And let's look up at the thumb. Take this long arm over your ear. Such simple postures. I am pushing down. I'm looking for this lance from my back heel, through my leg, hip, torso, shoulder, through my fingertips, and I breathe that right there. You know, this breath, every breath is an exchange. What is inside goes out. What is outside comes in. Let's reach 2 hands out. Take 3 big breaths. Revolve, open. I revolve my torso and I lift up. Find your oppositions, find your strength. Breathe that. When we deliver breath into the depth of opposition, we program the body for that posture. Let's take these hands down to the ground. I revolve my heel up. With an exhale, I step. Let's bend these knees, push away, all the way back up this time. Make a little turn. Excellent. Okay. Let's do this one for the whole body. Let's make one salute to the sun. Make it easy. Good morning. We're going to make one salute to the sun. So you may want to come to the front of your mat. Okay. Here we go. Take those hands together. Let's inhale this up. Make a little arc. Take it down to your heart. Inhale this up and fold it. Easy version today. Easy. Lift the face up. Right leg go back. Big breath in. Left leg comes back to a plank. Big breath in. Chaturanga. And inhale up. Upward dog. Jaw relax. I am going to stay here with this and look to the right. And turn your head, look over to the left. And back to the center. My toes dig down. I'm drawing back. Down dog. Down dog. Yes. Let's breathe it right there. Activate the strength in the front of the legs, from the kneecaps up into the hips, tilting the hips forward, lengthening your spine. Then the back of the legs will get the message. My right foot activates and I'm stepping forward. With the exhale, Here come the geese. Big breath in. Step the left. In every pose, I want you to feel it. I want you to activate your awareness. Let's bend these knees, stack the hands on the knees, and reach those hands back. And sweep those hands up. Back to your heart. Empty. Let's sweep. And bring it back to your heart. Let everything settle. Here we go again. We're going to do the second side. Let's inhale this up. Exhale down. Utkatasana. Here we go. Lift it up high. Let's fold it forward. Uttanasana. I inhale my face up. As I exhale, I kick back the left leg. Anjaneyasana. Breathe with it. I say breathe with it, but what is the shape of your breath right here in the lungs? What is the activation of the breath into the hips and legs? Take a big breath in. Right leg, step back to your plank. Lift the front of your body up into the back. When I exhale now, I squeeze my elbows into the ribs. And I inhale up. Every pose we modify based on the conditions. I'm turning my head to the left. I'm turning my head to the right. When we modify gently and are playful with it, bring your head back to the center. We call lila. Conscious lila, conscious playful practice. Big breath. As I exhale. I inhale my face up. It is my exhale that steps. My left foot is forward. I'm breathing. I'm finding this Anjaneyasana again. I take a breath. As I exhale, I step. Beautiful. Bend your knees. Stack your hands. Rebuild up. Hands back. Utkatasana, and hands forward. Utkatasana. Hands together. Push away. Be tall. Sweep. Back to your heart. Michelle, that was awesome. Thank you. Lie down on your back. We are working toward our closure today. Here come the geese. Please tuck your knees. Put one hand on each knee and rock side to side. If you can rock side to side, feel the length of the spine. Ribs broad on the floor. The head turns with your shoulders. And you exhale to the side, you inhale to the center. Let the pace of your breathing yoke with your movement. That's awesome, Michelle. Come back to the center. I'd like for you to take your arms wide like a T. Let the palms turn up. Unlock the shoulders. Let those shoulder blades sink down. And drift your knees over to the left. The knees will touch, the feet will touch. And if you're there, look left and push your heels straight out. Yeah, maybe you can grip your toes. Breathe it right there. Then, when you're ready, take a big breath in. Exhale, turn your head, chin and forehead equally over to this right thumb. And breathe and feel it right there. Feel that natural revolve of your spine. Can you feel your shoulder blades sinking down more deeply? Take 2 more breaths, then wake up this right arm into the sky. Lift and roll to the left. Empty your body. How can we practice this deep emptiness? You know, when I returned to work with Kumar in 1996, an important aspect of the practice was how to really rest. How to rest. You rest your body and you rest your mind. Yes. Take your arms wide like a T, legs back to the center. Drift your knees over to the right. And when you're ready, push away. Yes. Looking over to the right, feel the revolve of your body. Where does the breath move inside of you? What is the shape of your breath in the lungs? Can you feel that depth of compression in the lower right? I know that you can, because it's there. And can you feel that dilation in the upper left lobes of the lung? Yeah, feel that. Turn your head to the left and breathe. And we can observe the functional movement and the functional breath delivery. We can observe the quality of the prana, the life force energy too. And as we observe this life force energy with our intent and our awareness, we call vyana, breath delivery into the entire body. And one final delivery awareness detail. What if you could breathe from the ridge of this left foot up through the lateral line of the left leg, that outside line of the left leg into the hip, and from that hip up the right side of your spine into the right shoulder. You're inhaling from the foot up through that back line to the right shoulder and across the shoulders to the left fingertips. That's the inhale. And you identify, you awaken with the exhale. Identify that big breath in, and with the exhale, track awareness down through that anterior line of the forearm, the bicep brachialis, the anterior delt, pec major, minor, all the muscles of the chest, down through this left side, left hip, and the inside of the left leg, this medial aspect of left leg, knee, ankle, arch, big toe. Okay, what if you take 2 more breaths like that? From the outside line up through the back to the fingertips, and exhale down through that front line. As though you could trace your breathing through the body, we call nyasa. Wake up this left arm into the sky, roll to the right. The names are not important, but they can help guide us. Let yourself empty into gravity. Jaw relax. Very nice. Roll over onto your stomach. We're going to start wrapping it up here now. Reach way out as you can. Reach out with those hands. Press the whole body down into the ground. Feel that surface of your body pressing down, breathing. Then push your hips down. Let's lift the right arm, the left leg. Look at that thumb for 3 breaths. And then take it down. Left arm, right leg, lift. 3 breaths and down. Now push down in the hips, lift up both arms, both legs. Yes, breathe, reach that. Beautiful. Can you reach back, grip your ankles if you want more? You do. You grip your ankles. Put one ear down on the floor first and feel that. Let your elbows be straight and locked. Feel what is happening in the top of each knee into the hips, what's happening in the glutes and the lower back. Feel what's happening in your neck. Isolate your head and neck. Lift it, just the head and neck, and turn the opposite ear down to the mat. Yes, so easy. Breathe this entrance to your bow posture. Now, when you're ready, you can stay there. You can even let go and empty yourself there. But if you want more, push down in your hips. Lift up in your heart. Lift up in your knees. Lift away. Nice, Michelle. Breathe 3 more breaths. That's all. Just 3 nice breaths delivered consciously, and then empty. Reach one arm long, and over that long arm, I would like for you to roll. Find the easiest way to roll onto your back. Tuck your knees and rock. And I invite you to make one back bend, either a fish or an upward facing bow. If you're doing your upward bow, fishes are easy, right? Everybody knows your fish. There are many variations of the fish, however, so we can't take it for granted. But if you're making this upward bow, go to your bridge first with the hands at your side. Lift up, articulate up through the spine. Let the neck be long and the chest lift up to your chin. And if you're there, now place your hands. Because why are you doing it like this? Because you're programming your body. You're programming a pathway. When you're ready, you're going to inhale and lift up, straightening those elbows, straightening those knees. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Breathe there at least 18 times. In and out. Nice. Push those legs. That straight the inhale. It moves the focus directly into that back. Beautiful. Yes, and then release this back down to the ground. Empty your body. Empty your body. Leave it alone. Here, would you choose a page for us? Okay. There are two passages here. Say one or two. Number two. This is a passage from Jack Santa Maria. He says this: in gardening, there are disappointments and setbacks. Sometimes the seeds fail to grow in spite of being sown in what seemed to be fertile soil. Some seeds begin to sprout almost as soon as they're put in the ground. Others take their time. And our yogic practice is similar. Just when it looks as if progress is being made, something can happen that points out there's a lot more effort to be made before any results will show. And in us comes a feeling of dryness. And instead of a flower in the heart, there is a desert. It can be miserable. It could be frustrating. And this is due to the very composition of the mind with its different tendencies. And naturally, it's impossible to live with a body and a mind without having to suffer some of the problems that arise from this very situation. It's no use sowing a row of lettuces and hope that because the crop is badly needed, that there will be no weeds or that the slugs and other creatures will go somewhere else. These things are already present in the soil and they must be dealt with as they appear. It's like this in the yogic practice too. In the pattern of life, all of these have their function, and the gardener cooperates with these patterns. He aims, or she aims for understanding, born of experience and without resentment. Know, be confident that once the yogic practice has started, the watering is taking place unseen, and that the seeds that have been sown will surely germinate. One of the essential qualities of the gardener: a gardener must possess patience. Another quality is forbearance, a kind of steadiness, a strength, because the gardener must cooperate with the vicissitudes of nature. And in the case of the yogi gardener, this yogi gardener must also learn to cope with the vicissitudes of one's own nature and the problems that life inevitably brings along the way. I had been invited to direct a play with the Academia Theater about the life of Frida Kahlo, the Mexican artist. And if the theater is a place where we can reconnect with our humanness, our humanity, the truth of our humanity and presence, it isn't a post office. There is not a message necessarily. It's not about that. It's not like you open up the envelope and read the message. But one of the themes which our story tells is of our human capacity to transform whatever may be perceived as negative, limiting, painful, dukkha, resistance, and to transform this into something positive. And we must seek that out. That is our human capacity, to transform into the positive. And so I'm inviting you to seek it out. Any limitation, any resistance, any pain, transform it. Any limitation, even when things are good, what is the limitation? Transform that into something even more positive. All right. I'd like for you to stretch your own stretch. I say these things, they're not easy. They're easy to say, but they're not easy to do. It requires tremendous attention and focus and discipline. And that's what we're practicing, is our attention. Because if we practice that attention, then we have possibilities. Plant these feet down. If we're distracted, if we're caught up in our devices, if we're distracted by what poses as entertainment, no bueno. You're not activating yourself. Rather, you're consuming experience. Let's create experience. Let's claim experience. Let's claim life. Let's inhale up together. Exhale wide. Inhale over the ground. Make your fist, lock your elbows, hold the breath in 5 times. Through the mouth, exhale. Inhale wide. Oh yeah, back to your heart. That concludes our asana practices today. Namaste. Thank you, Michelle, for being here on this glorious sunny day. Thank you for being here, joining us live down in Austin and elsewhere. And for those of you who will be joining us in the recording, namaste.